Yo, what's up, boys? You know the people that say, yeah, I'm gonna start going gym. I'm gonna start going gym. But I don't want to get too jacked, I don't want to get too jacked. I just want to get a bit toned. Those people that say they don't want to get too jacked as if they're gonna magically, accidentally become like Arnold. They're gonna wake up one day and look like The Rock. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to get this jacked. Bruv, you don't accidentally get that jacked. That's the same person that when they're starting some sort of online business or they're making content online, driving traffic towards somewhere for someone to buy a product, they say, yeah, I want to make content online, but I don't want to go too viral and get too famous. Bro, you don't accidentally become too famous. I can almost guarantee you, your TikTok, bro, it is not going to get 20 million views and 100K followers on Instagram and 500,000 subs on YouTube. I guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it. I can't guarantee it 100%, but I can almost guarantee it. It's like saying, yeah, bro, you just can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't expect to say, yeah, I want to start making content, but yeah, I don't want to put my face out there in case I get too famous and, the boys judge me and my girlfriend sees it. Bro, no one cares about you in the most respectful way. They just want the best for you, okay? They want the best for you. They want you to be safe. They want you to be healthy. They want you to make money and stuff, but no one's going to judge you, and no one has any right to judge you. The same way you don't have any right to judge anyone else, okay? You don't look at people working their job with a tip, a garbage man, and say, this bum. The same way people don't look at you and think that. Unless, of course, you're giving horrific advice or, your content's absolute garbage and it's atrocious. Then maybe think before you speak. But bro, don't worry about it. Like, honestly, if you're out there and let's say you got a coaching personal brand, right? You're in really good shape and you want to sell a gym routine or a diet plan to a lot of people out there that aren't in shape and they want to look like you, bro, speak with authority. You're an expert in your industry. You're in good condition. You diet. You know what you're talking about. So act like it. Speak like you know what you're talking about. And remember this, people love to buy things off experts. The same way when you go into a doctor's office and you sit down and they ask you a bunch of questions and they say, all right, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Tell me about your experience with this. What have you tried already to do this? How long has this been an issue for? Have you ever had anything like this happen to you before? They ask you questions, they diagnose you, and then they say, all right, cool. Well, this is the medication. Just go up to the counter and it's $50. Might be an extra 15 for the medicine for a fortnight, and yeah, you're good to go. You don't say to that doctor, I don't know, buddy. You're trying to sell me here. You're really trying to sell me here. That's not what you think. You defer to the expert. They've asked you questions. They've diagnosed the issue in you by asking you questions and caring and learning about you. And then they've provided you the solution. Well, solution's just there at the counter. 2 weeks of pills and you'll be good to go. Or whatever the fucking example is, right? That's how you have to treat your sales. It doesn't matter what you're selling as well, by the way. This could be, again, a diet program for a personal trainer. It could be a weightlifting program for a personal trainer. It could be something like I'm doing, where I sell advertising services for residential contractors, right? I don't go in there and sell their head off like I'm Jordan Belfort off the Wolf of Wall Street, right? I diagnose the issue of what's the issue. You have no business coming in. Your lead flow is pretty poor. Your ads look like a 5-year-old did them. Are they getting you results? Okay. Right. Have you tried anything previously? Okay. How did that go? Okay. So what's going wrong right now? Okay. What are you going to do to change it? All right. And if you don't change it, what happens? How much money are you missing out on? Okay, and what's the goals with the company? You want to expand? You want to make more money? Okay, you do. Okay, and how exactly are you going to get there without changing this little, without tweaking this? You don't know. Okay, no stress. I can't help you with everything in life, mate, but I am your marketing and advertising guy. Here's how we're going to help. We're going to do this, this, this. This is how much it's going to cost you. Conservatively, I think it's going to make you about this much. But since I know your margins are here, here, and here, and I know you have a lot of time to do this, this, and this, in terms of quoting new business, which I know is your priority right now before you hire these next 3 or 4 guys, I think we can help. In this time frame, I expect these results. If we get you these results, brilliant, cool, sweet, we're doing our job really well. But if we don't get you these results, I'll give you a full refund. You don't have to waste my time. I don't have to waste your time anymore. I'll apologize for you. Is that, I mean, we on the kind of same page here? Yep, all right, boom, cool, let's do it, let's go. Setup fee signed, revenue share, boom, bish, bash, bosh. It's that easy, right? People just want to be heard, understood, acknowledged, and they want to know that you care about them. And I gotta say, if you don't care about your prospects or clients, you don't deserve to have them as a client. If you really don't care if they succeed or fail, then bro, you're a terrible business person. And I guarantee word on the street is gonna get out that you are a bad business person. You do bad business. You don't care if your customers, you don't care if your clients, you're just a bastard pretty much. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. I say that to say this: if you are an expert in your industry, don't be afraid to share content. Don't be afraid to run ads with your face in the ads, if you're comfortable speaking on camera. Don't be afraid to share your expert opinion, if you are, of course, an expert. And guess what? When you have an expert opinion and you make a prediction for the near future on the market, on the industry, on the future of whatever you're working on or whatever your clients are associated in, and that becomes correct, your prediction, if you're right about your prediction, do you know the authority you get by doing that? Do you know the authority you get in your industry by doing that? People can go back and watch your YouTube content, your Instagram content, your Facebook content for months and months and years, and they'll say, wow, a year ago he predicted the industry was going to be up 10, 20 points because of this, this, and this. And then I saw on the news that that actually happened, and what my business grew when he said it was going to grow. How did he know that? Oh, what's he talking about nowadays then? Because whatever he's talking about nowadays, I better believe it. I better put my trust in this guy. He clearly knows what he's on about. It's all about becoming an expert in your market. Forget everything else, become an expert in your field, and you can only do that through market research. And bro, let me just turn this back to me for a second. I do what I do in terms of advertising for my clients. I sell an advertising service, as I just told you guys. And even me, I'm always keeping up to date. And it's so easy to keep up to date, let me tell you. It's so easy to keep up to date. Just yesterday, today's Sunday evening in the lovely Auckland, New Zealand. But just yesterday, Saturday, I bought a $20 Facebook mastery course with AI and stuff going into 2025. It's almost the end of 2025 now, so I think it's about 6 months old, or maybe it was 3 months old. But there was stuff that I didn't know, and I would consider myself an expert in the industry. I've been in the industry over 3 years at this point. My job every day is meta advertising for my clients, obviously to get them results. I don't, glitz and glamour too much about the meta advertising, but that's what I do to get results for my clients, which is how I get paid. Even I have a lot to learn, and I'm a nobody, by the way. Like, I've only been an entrepreneur like less than 3 years full time, and I gotta say that there's people like, I don't know, guys like Elon Musk. They're still working. Like, they're broke. Like, they have no money. So you have no money right now, maybe, if you're watching this, and they're outworking you. Is that not concerning? Because to someone like me who wants to get to, a more successful business in the near future, it does scare me. And it does, light a fire at my bum. No dirty. Anyway, like this video, comment, subscribe, follow my Instagram at HarperMaisie. And by the way, if you haven't watched my Road to 100K in 100 Days challenge, I want you to go ahead and watch a few of those videos, raw and uncut. You can see what I was doing on a day-to-day basis in an attempt to get to 100K in revenue in 100 days, which was 25 new clients. You can see what went right, what went not so right. And if you want to copy exactly what I did, please do. If not, don't worry about it. Leave you guys to it. Have a good night, or afternoon, or lunch, or morning, depending on where you're watching this. And I'll leave you to it. Bye-bye.